All right, hey friends, it's T-Man and I'm back again with another video on our good friend JasonBlaha Strength and Fitness. We're gonna do a review video on JasonBlaha. Yes, you know our good friend, man, the strength and fitness, gym lifting, recruiting, lifting slave himself, Blaha. All right, Blaha says weightlifting is a fantastic tool for losing fat and keeping it off. Okay. Lifting weight is a fantastic tool, yes. Losing fat, keeping it off. Losing fat, keeping it off. Yeah, it's not a tool. And it doesn't do that. And you don't need that. But okay, anyways, let's see what he has to say.
Lifting weights and resistance training really is the long game for losing body fat and helping keep it off and help keeping your metabolic rate up. So
absolutely not. You want to keep your metabolic rate low. You don't want to keep it up. It's associated with aging, high metabolic rate. Shortens your lifespan. Here's another thing. Hold on, let's see what else. I forgot what part you just said there. Oh, that was one of them. Lifting doesn't increase longevity, whatever.
I would chat with you guys and gals about.
Oh, as far as losing fat, sorry, I got off track there. As far as losing fat, eat your natural diet. If you eat your natural diet, which all of you are addicted to this drug-induced carbohydrate diet, which is a drug diet, it's made from plants, and all plants are drugs, all drugs are made from plants. That's what's causing you the problem. It's a known fact. They've done tests. Everybody knows they've done tests on rats. They've done more tests, not just on rats, but they've done tests on rats. Some of them, I've seen these tests. And I mean, they put some powerful drugs, plant drugs there. And some of the plant drugs were like opium, cocaine, and sugar. And all the rats went for the sugar because sugar is a much more powerful drug than cocaine or opium or any of these other drugs that come from plants. Sugar is one of the most powerful ones. And this is a refined drug. Remember, refined drug. Sugar is refined when they refine it, just like cocaine. I'm not talking about people licking leaves all day, sucking on leaves. I'm talking about refined drugs. And they put this stuff on everything. They put it in everything. They put it in your cooking and fast food stores, Chinese food, whatever. They mix it up in stuff and sauces and everything. They put it all over everything. It's extremely addictive and you can't stop eating it. And you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop eating it. It's super high addictive. Just getting off of it, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, you're a recurring addict. We are all recurring addicts if we get off of it. There's no telling when it's going to strike the craving, the hit. You're gonna go get a Coca-Cola or something to try to hit, and sometimes one will not be enough. I know people, they'll just go crazy. They haven't done it in a long time. They haven't eaten any. They'll down 5 Cokes, couple bags of chips, this, that. They'll just go absolutely nuts, and then they'll feel sick and regret it later. But that's what happens because that's the kind of drug it is. It makes you very depressed. I'm going to tell you right now. Sugar, carbohydrate, drugs, drug-addicted diet makes you extremely depressed. That's why we have so many problems in society today. People are they're mentally gone, mentally ill from this stuff. So to keep a positive weight on your body, you want to eat your natural diet. I don't know, for as long as you could try to keep it, whatever.
Just a little bit. And when I make this statement, I'm not saying cardio doesn't help, okay? Just like when I've made statements before that the objective scientific data seems to overwhelmingly confirm that lifting weights has more total health benefits than cardiovascular training and endurance training does. Now, the problem is people tend to get stuck in these paradigms to where they're like, well, so you're saying it's useless. You're saying that cardio isn't good for health. But no one said any such thing.
Cardio is not good for health. No labor job is good for your health. It's inflammatory, and thus accelerates aging and possibly metabolic diseases from the, I don't know, from the inflammatory response. I can't tell you for sure. We know that foods cause inflammatory responses. They could trigger something in your body, but the food itself is toxic, and these toxins are what are causing the problems for sure, definitely in the cell. Oh yeah.
Quantitative issue. So let me put it this way. If I were to just put $1,000 in your bank account right now, and we would call it, that would be cardio, and I put $2,000 in your bank account, we call that weightlifting. Right now, would you say that the $1,000 is worthless? Would anyone out there, if we just imagine, if I just did that, just deposit it in your account, would you
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with bodybuilding?
say that $1,000 is worthless? No, it's $1,000.
Okay.
$2,000 is objectively more valuable.
Okay.
It's more valuable than 1,000. Now,
Maybe in his fantasy world that he lives in, but money has no value in nature. It's made up. It's imaginary. It's fabricated by man. You give it value because you believe it's valuable. Get it? That's just stupid. There's no value. It's a piece of paper.
perfect world, you might say, give me both.
It's imaginary value.
When it does come to some stuff with health benefits, we can make the argument for doing both. But the health benefits of weightlifting outweigh the health benefits of just cardio if you had to compare them head to head.
Absolutely not. Both cause an inflammatory response, and they don't have any health benefits, because if Blaha can't tell you what the health benefits are, which he hasn't really told you the health benefits, he says it'll keep weight off your body. Is that a health benefit? Exercise is not going to keep the weight off your body. Why do you have to go on a low caloric diet then? He's just making all this stuff up. Weightlifting has no health benefits. It doesn't remove fat from your body. Lifting weights do not remove fat from your body, because if it did, then keep eating and see if it removes it. What is he talking about? He had to go on a low caloric diet. He got skinny. Oh, he's going to say, but I'm lifting though. I'm causing a thermogenic effect. Man, it would have gone anyway, man, whatever the hell he's doing there. It wouldn't have mattered. This is ridiculous. Please tell us one health benefit of exercise or cardio. Blaha, please tell me. And I can tell you all the things that are, I guess you would say, negative with it. Cardiovascular disease, accelerated aging, and a whole bunch of stuff, possibly metabolic diseases. People, they get sick, they exercise, and they die. My friend who used to exercise, he died. He had a heart attack. He died. Why? That's how healthy it is. It's so healthy. I know people's lifespans are cut short from exercising. They've died. They died. They're all dead. They're died young. All this exercise stuff it's baloney. He's next. I think he's next. He's suffering from sarcopenia. Look at his knees and his legs and his arms. Skinny arms and skinny little twiggy little legs is a sign of sarcopenia. He's lost his muscularity because he has high estrogen. Low testosterone, high estrogen. Even if he is on TRT, that TRT is not working for him. You need your natural testosterone. You need your natural DHT. You need your natural stuff that is being created in your body. These unnatural substances, plant DNA injecting in your body, it's toxic. You're just injecting toxins, and eating these plant drugs, you're just eating more toxins. It makes no sense. And then you're accelerating more aging by lifting, because we know that labor jobs age people. Laboring ages you. It deteriorates you very fast, and especially if you're if you're overfed, undernourished, and you're lifting, you're going to accelerate aging even more.
And this has been very heavily documented. So when it comes to fat loss, though, they're about equal. The most recent meta-analysis looked at it and determined that
Look at my community section. I just posted again some meals. That is healthy. Eating meat and shrimp. that has health benefits. That has a lot of health benefits. It's going to make you feel amazing. You know that? And by eating like that, a lot like that, you may be able to get out of this drug-induced coma that everybody's in. This drug-induced coma that they're in, eating sugar drugs, carbohydrate, sugar, drug addict diet. Yeah, I'm not joking, man. It's a way of getting out of it. You can push your way out of that by eating your natural diet, by overfeeding on your natural diet, overloading the cells and the brain with nutrients. See what I mean? And that get you over that hump.
Lifting weights and doing cardio have just
Look, at some point, eating so much meat, it becomes, I don't know how to explain it. It starts to become difficult to try to put more in your mouth because your brain and body is stopping you from eating more, even though you don't feel full. You may not feel full because you're in your mind, you're thinking full is inflammatory response. When I have a big stomach, I'm full. And when I fart, I must be full. But here's the thing. On a natural diet, you don't fart and your stomach is not exploded. It's not friggin' imploded there. A huge stomach, okay, like you're giving birth. That doesn't happen when you eat 4 or 5 plates of massive amounts of like steak. That's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But your brain is going to stop you from eating so much at that one seating. But then you can give it a rest for a while and then every so often throw in a piece of meat when you just have the urge to eat your drug-induced carbohydrate diet. Just throw in a piece of meat again and then throw it in again. Drink some water. Drink some mineral water, bubbly water, or whatever. Yeah. That'll help.
about the same positive impact on weight loss and fat loss. Okay? That's what they determined.
Weight loss and what? Fat loss? No, it doesn't. It's a lie. It's a lie. You go on your natural diet and your body will restore itself to homeostasis. Your body's out of homeostasis when it's on a drug-induced carbohydrate diet. Okay? You're unnatural right now. You're looking unnatural if you're eating carbohydrates. You look unnatural. You look natural when you're on your natural diet, a natural animal, carnivore animal diet.
Now, some people don't like that. They're like, you have to. No, you don't have to do cardio to lose weight.
You don't have to, you don't, no. Yes, Blaha, you don't have to do cardio to lose weight. And here's another thing. I'm even adjusting my diet. As I go through, I'm adjusting it. I'm beginning to believe that you're really not supposed to be eating so many eggs. It's really, your diet is really meat. It's a meat diet. So really, I just focusing more on meat and some seafood stuff. Now, at one buffet, if I go to a particular buffet, it depends where I go. Like, there's some places I will eat some, scallops and other, things and whatever. I never film them all. I'll never film them all or take pictures of everything that I'm eating sometimes. But I got to start eating other things as well. But for in the moment, I like to eat meat. But like I said, I'm cutting out on the eggs. I stopped eating any carnivore animals like chicken or pork. I'm sticking to beef. I make bone broth soups and things, and stuff out of collagen at home, and a bunch of other stuff, bro. But like I said, it's something you have to experiment with. I'm experimenting still. I'm cutting out other things, seeing what is going to improve my health. Now, I know that lifting does not improve my health, because if you eat a drug-induced diet like carbohydrate, which gives you metabolic diseases, how can that improve your health, lifting? If that is causing the metabolic diseases, the food, then what do you need to cut out? The food. Now, if you're eating naturally, but you're overlifting, you're a lifting slave, and it's causing you some metabolic diseases now, lifting, like, tendinitis, back problems, degenerative disc disease, or who knows what you're getting there. If it's doing that, then you need to stop doing that. You need to stop doing that. That's all. People ask me, why don't I lift? I don't lift because I'm not stupid. It gives you chronic diseases. That's why. I lift periodically, and it's very specific. I only ever lift to how should I put it? To cause some damage to the muscle fiber, to activate the satellite cell. May get rid of some senescent cells and create some new cells, get rid of some senescent cells and myogenic decline. And just to expand the satellite cell pool for further regenerative demands. That's about it, dude.
Can cardio be a helpful tool? Yes. Is it necessary? No.
No, it can't be. It can't be a helpful tool, and no, it's not necessary, like he just said. So it's not necessary. What helpful tool? If it's not necessary, how could it be a helpful tool? Then?
Is it a great tool for weight loss? Probably not. It's an okay tool.
No, he just said probably not. Then he says it's an okay tool. It's not. You don't need it.
I wouldn't put it at the top of the list, nor would I even put weight training.
I tell you right now, Blaha can lift that weight to high heaven for his biceps, and they will never grow. They will never grow because weights don't grow your biceps. He doesn't know what grows biceps. They've reached an MND size limit. They've reached it when you were 15. That he doesn't know about MND size limit. It actually reached it when you were 15. Your body doesn't increase the fiber count after 15. Now, how do the fibers mass up? Those fibers that you got when you were young. I'm not talking about accumulating more muscle fibers. I'm talking about the mass on the myofibula if you wanted to get bigger. How do you get it? How do you get it? It's really easy. You want to know how to get it? When protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown, you will visually see that mass on that myofibula. So, did they say that lifting weights, do you see mass on the myofibula lifting weights in science? No. You know what they say? They say when protein synthesis exceeds muscle protein breakdown, that's when you see mass on the myofibula. So he can lift to high heaven until that protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown. He's never gonna see that mass on those biceps, and I mean ever. And yeah, and that means you need to be in a positive nitrogen balance. And Blaha doesn't know what these things mean. I'm old school, you understand me? Because somebody wrote me, T, where do you get these nitrogen sticks to check my nitrogen balance to see if I'm anabolic? Well, in the past, they used to sell them in GNC. You might want to go to GNC and ask them. Maybe somebody can refer you. I don't know. Maybe you can get them in a laboratory now. I don't know where they sell them. Maybe you can order them online. I remember they were colored sticks. They were colored sticks. I don't know. I don't remember how they were using them. I remember they were advertising them. Me personally, I never used them. I don't know if you put urine on it or if you were to put it in your mouth. I don't know, and you would check or something with your saliva. I can't remember. I can't remember. It was such a long time ago. They used to sell all these kind of weird things back in the day. They used to have these oxygenation drinks. You would oxygenate this drink. It was going to give you energy and do all this stuff and help you build muscle. It was all bullshit. But anyways, like I said, they sold these sticks. Those were probably worth it. Yeah, nitrogen sticks. People wanted to know what their nitrogen balance was. If your nitrogen balance dips, you're catabolic. You're not anabolic. Okay, dude? But me personally, I know my body so well. I know what will put me in a positive nitrogen balance. I already know. It's by eating so much meat and never being hungry. Eating tons and tons of protein, animal protein. That's it. Man, this is not difficult. It's not difficult to understand. But like I said, Blaha, I don't know what generation he's from. I'm older than him by 10 years. So I already know all these things. They were in the past. They were popping up in the past. I knew about nitrogen balance, anabolic growth state. I knew that protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown. I've always known that it would suppress the catabolic hormone. It converts the catabolic hormone to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, giving you more force production. And being in a positive nitrogen balance makes you anabolic. It's kind of obvious. The burn victims, why did they give them 36 eggs? Because they were trying to keep them in a positive nitrogen balance, anabolic. And if they're anabolic, there's no breakdown. Therefore, the burn victims, they were constantly in a repair state. Now, if you read science, it means repairing tissue. In a growth, it means to be in a growth state, repairing tissue. Now, I use that type of thing when I do muscle damage, because I do muscle damage training. I don't do slave lifting. I'm not a lifting slave. Get it? Going to the gym, lifting every day. That doesn't work in muscle damage training. It's a totally Totally different type of training. Now, what he's training for, I don't know. Man, maybe it's androgen receptors. I don't know what he's training for. Maybe he's training for an open window for protein synthesis. I have no idea. If he's doing that, then he's doing it wrong, because if this is the training that you're training for to open a window for protein synthesis, what you would call hypertrophy training, then you still, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown, because it's being broken down and built up all throughout the day. And the window now there's more breakdown than building up now. You need to compensate for that breaking down part. Hello? Because you lifted weights. I would just say the proteins, the contractile proteins, they're breaking down. But in muscle damage, it's totally different. The progenitor comes out, splits, divides, increases in number. It differentiates and infuses with fibers, creates more fibers, more cells. It does a bunch of stuff. It converts these things like fibroblast cells. I don't know, man. It's a complicated process, okay? And then blood levels are elevated. Protein synthesis is extended for entire week during the repair and the remodeling phase. I'm trying to build more myofibrillars. I don't give a shit about the rest, but I still will get mass on the myofibrillar because of the way I'm eating. I'm in a positive nitrogen balance the entire week. If you're not, it'll become apoptotic. If you get any muscle damage in the gym, if you do anything you're unaccustomed to doing, and you get this damage, if you are not in a positive nitrogen balance, the muscle will be apoptotic. You will lose muscle cells, muscle fibers. I'm not joking, man. But now, like I said, you can build the mass on the myofibrillar and reach that MND size limit, that myonuclear domain limit. You understand me? It'll reach a limit. I don't know what that limit is for everybody. I don't know what that limit is for you. When you get there, you'll know, because growth will cease. You won't be growing anymore. You'll be stepping on the what do you call it? On the scale and eating tons and tons of protein, being in an anabolic growth, being in a positive nitrogen balance, and then there's no growth going on. So what do you need to do to continue growth? Well, you're going to have to add some muscle damage training into the mix, because that's the only way to get the progenitor to donate its nuclei to that domain, because the nuclei, they synthesize protein so that you can further muscle growth. Get it, dude? Yeah, man.
The top of the list, diet adherence, appetite control, I put those at a higher level. But let's talk about that. So what about with weight?
I'm going to tell you right now, there is nobody like me on the internet, and I mean nobody, who knows bodybuilding like I do, and how to build muscle, how to get stronger, and a whole bunch of stuff. I know these things from the past, bro. Get it? You understand me? There's nobody going to tell it to you the way I do. There's no channel like mine on the internet. And if, like I told you before, when my channel goes, it all goes, because they want to sell you on fake beliefs. They don't want you to build muscle. Nobody, not the fitness industry, doesn't want you to accomplish your goals. If you accomplish your goals, you won't come back. If you really know how these things work, you won't listen to them. You won't buy their stuff. You won't do anything. So they have to keep you as lifting slaves. Do you understand me? That's the campaign, the lifting slave campaign, dude. You're a gym slave.
Lifting. All right, well, people have to remember flat out, gaining more muscle will speed up your metabolic rate. So even if in a short period...
Listen to what he said. Getting more muscle will speed up your metabolic rate. That doesn't make any sense. No. Getting more muscle doesn't increase your metabolic rate. What increases metabolic rate is what you're doing. What you're doing is going to increase metabolic rate. Hello? What's he talking about? He's crazy. It's baloney.
Time you're lifting weights, say it increases your energy turnover by 200 calories a day. Let's say that you need to lose weight and you start lifting weights, and over the next 6 months, it increases, the weightlifting improves your total energy turnover by 2,200 calories every day. Now that's not a lot, but is it a little more food? If you could lose fat at the exact same rate.
He looks completely washed out, and I know why. Because he doesn't know how to build muscle, so he's turning to carbohydrates, like he said in the previous video. He's eating carbs, and I told you, carbs create artificial muscles called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. Protein creates myofibrillar hypertrophy, and carbohydrate drug-induced diets create what? It's ATP. They create sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. Those are phony muscles.
But get to eat slightly more. Let's say maybe you get to eat 5 to 10% more food every day while losing weight and body fat at the same rate. Would it make it slightly easier? Most people say, well, yeah, it's not going to be a complete game changer, but would it help a little bit? Of course it would. You know, I mean, that's like 2 bananas.
No, it's not. It's a waste of time.
That could be like 2 slices of bread, you know.
This is
What do you
FTMO,
say?
and it's a trade.
I mean, that's like 2 bananas. That could be like 2 slices of bread, you know, whatever.
2 bananas and 2 slices of bread. An artificial fake diet. An artificial fake diet that doesn't exist. Bread and bananas. Huh. He wants you to eat bread and bananas. Give me a break, man. He wants you to eat sugar. Sugar, cellulose, and toxins. Hello.
Again, it's not a tremendous amount.
Have you seen that scratch on his head? He says he scratched his head. That was a long time ago, remember? He said he banged his head and he scratched it on something. It's never healed. It's not healing. Wanna know why? Because he's almost on the verge of type 2 diabetic. That's when it doesn't heal, because carbohydrate diet and exercising. He suffers from metabolic diseases. He has psoriasis. He has psoriasis on his skin down there on his legs. That shortens your lifespan. It's a known fact. Read it. Type up psoriasis and you'll see on Google it says it's associated with shortened lifespan. That's why I say he's going to die soon, plus cardiovascular disease. And he's got metabolic diseases because he's mentioned it. He's got ear problems and he's got crooked teeth. That is a DNA, it's poor DNA, poor genetics. He's got extremely, extremely poor genetics. I mean extremely. And he's got body dysmorphia and a bunch of other things now. He's suffering from all kinds of things.
But it's helpful. And if you think about that plotted out every day, 7 days a week, if every single day you could eat a couple hundred more calories, because weightlifting's improved your metabolic rate, you can eat a couple more.
It doesn't improve your metabolic rate. You want to keep your metabolic rate low. That's why that's why I'm not a lifting slave. I don't go to the gym and lift frequently for no reason. I don't go there to lift for no reason.
100 calories every day while you're losing weight for the next 6 months.
A lot of people, they make up reasons why they go to the gym to lift. They say, "Oh, I have to get stronger." What? You have to get what? I have to get stronger. You didn't get stronger. You got better at lifting weights. No. They're gonna argue. I got stronger. I'm stronger than you because I can lift a heavy weight. I don't know. I don't know that. Are you stronger than me? Because what? Because you can lift a heavy weight? Or are you better than me because you can lift a heavy weight? Which one are you? See, if you're a small guy and I'm a big dude, right? If I'm like 7 feet tall, and you're 5 foot, 5'6" feet tall, who's stronger, you or me? You're going to say, well, I'm stronger than you because I can lift a heavy weight. Give me a break, bro. What are you talking about? My body's stronger than yours because it's bigger. There's more material on my body. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's better. It's bigger, better, stronger, and faster. Your body's you go to the gym you have to keep going there to practice at lifting that weight. It's not based on natural strength. It's based on motor unit and androgen receptor strength. So you're a weakling, get it? You're a weakling. You just don't realize it. It's not based on you physically being big and strong. In the natural world, you're doing something artificial. You're triggering some nervous system to be good at lifting something, but you never got physically taller or bigger like your friend down the street. You're compensating. You're coping.
It make it easier to stick it out? Yeah, a little bit. Right? We know this. And I think most people accept that. Yeah, okay, it will help.
I'm not saying older people don't become dysfunctional. They're becoming dysfunctional, which you would call probably weak. They're becoming dysfunctional because they're eating an artificial diet. That's what's dysfunctioning people.
Right, so you have that to think about, but then we have to think about the other stuff. The preserving muscle tissue is a really big deal. Why? Because when we're losing weight, what are we trying to do? We're trying to lose body fat, number one. Number two, we want to keep our metabolic rate as high as possible. Right? Lifting.
He wants you to keep your metabolic rate as high as possible, accelerated aging, because he says losing weight. No, man, you don't need to do that. On your natural diet, it'll restore you back. Listen, when you stop eating the drug-induced carbohydrate diet, when you stop doing that, and you start eating your natural diet, right? Get it? Then your body returns back to what? Homeostasis. Get it? It goes back to homeostasis. Yeah, dude.
Weights will make you cut deeper into your body fat stores. People say they want to lose weight. They don't mean weight. They usually mean fat.
I can show you people on the internet. They're all eating their natural diet, these women, and they'll show you before after pictures, and they all gone back to homeostasis. They all go back to looking like feminine women when they stopped eating the drug-induced carbohydrate drug diet. As soon as they got off the drugs, their body went back to normal, eating their natural diet.
They're really ignorant, because I get people who are like, oh, how can I drop water? I'm like, it's temporary. Like, well, how temporary? I mean, it can all come back in a single day. Right? I've done water cuts for powerlifting meets and dropped 23 pounds. You know how fast I regained it? Within 12 hours. It takes me a week-long process to get there. And in the last day, I lose 20 pounds of it. Right? I have regained it within 12 hours, every single drop. And then I go above it. I go back the other direction. I go heavier than I started. And water weight is temporary. You can regain any water you lose within a matter of hours. So you really aren't trying to lose water. You definitely are not trying to lose muscle. Losing muscle will not make you look better. Okay, and someone out there who says, well, I don't want to be jacked, well, then don't use
He's losing muscle. What's he talking about?
a bunch of drugs and dedicate your whole life to lifting. Okay?
You are on drugs. You're eating drugs all day. You're eating drugs all day. Stop eating them. Eat your natural diet.
You don't have to worry about that. I promise you out there, most of you out there who haven't been lifting weights, you don't have very much muscle on your body, particularly women. I doubt you have.
Yes, they do. They have a lot of muscle. It's called their natural muscle on their body. What's he talking about? The difference between Blaha is really stupid. The only thing that you're doing in the majority of people doing in the gym, they're trying to get the myofibrillar to expand and get bigger. You're not growing more myofibrillars. The only way to grow more myofibrillar growth is through muscle micro damage. And your body stops that because of the repeated bout effect phenomenon. It protects muscle from becoming damaged. You can't grow any more of these muscle fibers. Yeah, you call them newbie gains, whatever you want to call it. And then it stops there at the newbie gains. Why can't you get it to come back? Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't understand how this works. It's called repeated bout effect phenomenon. A bunch of stuff in bodybuilding. You don't understand that that's a separate type of training. Muscle damage, muscle micro injury damage training is a separate training than coming in and training for just hypertrophy, getting the mass on the myofibrillar to get bigger. But it can only get so big because it'll hit an MND size limit, where the progenitor, these nuclei, they synthesize protein. It'll hit a level. Now, does it work for everybody? I don't know. In science, it says there's a difference between older people and younger people. Older people don't tend to need so many more of these so-called nuclei, and then it can expand a little bit more. See what I mean? But I would be very careful if you get a mutation. If that cell were to mutate, get bigger than its MND size limit, it can weaken you. You could become weak. You become stronger when you actually build more myofibrillars. But that's a very, very tough training to go through. You can't be doing anything else, and nothing can be interfering with you there.
But you probably have very, very little muscle.
No, you have very low muscle, Blaha. You have the same muscle fiber count that you were born with, and I bet you if I put you in a CT scan, you didn't grow any myofibrillars. You didn't grow any new ones. You didn't grow any because it's kind of obvious. It's visually I can see it. And you don't have much mass on the myofibrillar either. And it's sarcoplasmic. Any bloatness you have there, it's sarcoplasmic, dude.
To what you're thinking of. All right? I promise you, most of you who are worried about that don't even have within 50 pounds of the amount of muscle I have. Just call.
He's trying to compare people that don't lift. They don't even have 50 pounds compared to Blaha. Blaha weighs like under 200 pounds, and he's trying to compare himself to regular people that don't lift. Look at Blaha, his small arms. Look, small arms. This is a great picture. I'm going to use that picture. Blaha's got small arms. That's him flexing. He's flexing. How big do you think those biceps are? How big do you think they are? 13 inches.
Like it is. Okay. So you need to hold on to what you have. Because what are you going to look like if you just lose weight? You're going to look skinny or fat. So if a bunch of the weight you're losing is body fat, you're going to oftentimes not look.
He's looking skinny fat. Sarcopenia.
Much better even after losing 20 pounds. Okay?
Brother.
So if you lose 20 pounds and 10 of it is fat and 10 of it is other stuff, I almost guarantee you're not going to feel like you look much better. Even your waist and stuff will be smaller, but you're probably not going to say, wow, I look 10 times better. That's not how you're going to feel. You lose 20 pounds of fat and you gain a couple pounds of muscle. Now that for most people will have a far more dramatic effect on how you look. Okay? In addition to the fact
it does on him, that's for sure.
You're going to feel better. And the other thing, the more muscle that you have, again, the easier it is to keep your metabolic rate up. So when you look at all of these things, and we're setting aside all the health benefits, if your long-term goal is to get body fat off and to keep it off.
What are the health benefits, Blaha? Could you please name one health benefit of exercising?
And even
should I say laboring away in the gym, or in this garage. What is the health benefit of laboring in this garage, moving weights around repetitively, these artificial man-made weights, repetitively moving them up and down?
Have a trim waistline and a flat stomach, lifting weights and gaining.
Flat waistline and stomach and all, that's all nice. That's cosmetic. What does cosmetic have to do with health? Looking for a cosmetic look, what does that have to do with health? I don't understand. Lifting weights for cosmetic purposes, bodybuilding, whatever you're doing here, Blaha, now all of a sudden. That's not a health benefit, that's cosmetic.
Work wonders for helping you maintain that.
It works wonders if you stick to doing this, I guess this bodybuilding thing, whatever you're doing, maybe in your mind you believe that.
It'll keep your energy turnover and your metabolism much, much, much higher. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that.
Because you're on a drug-induced diet. You want to keep burning calories, okay.
Today, I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.
I would say the video was extremely informative in the way that I was able to react to the video and discern what is necessary and what's not. I extrapolated all the stuff out of the video, yes, and I figured it out. I figured out all the stuff he was saying was wrong anyways, but whatever. I'm making up stuff, okay? I'm just joking around. Anyways, man, you tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below, man. I just love doing reaction videos to Blaha. It's great. I don't know. I'm learning all the time, learning with you, and I hope you're learning too. See you later, man. Ciao.